What's up guys, this is Tom Burkhardt from Car Rev Daily doing an actual introduction to the video. This is the 2019 M850i. So we're going to show you some cool stuff like the remote start, which is new for all BMWs for 2019, and then the remote roof operation. So to do the remote start, you have to monkey with the iDrive settings a little bit, and once you do, it's just 3 clicks on the BMW button. And it's going to fire up like a gangster. I mean, it sounds really, really good. And then of course you got remote operation for the windows and the roof too. This one, for remote start, you can be like a couple hundred yards away. But for the remote roof and windows, actually I think just for the roof part, you've got to be really close, like within 5 steps. Like if I walk further away, it'll sometimes halt the process right in the middle of it. But not a big deal. The car is amazing, 3.8 seconds to 60 miles an hour with 523 horsepower. Over 550 foot-pounds of torque, and an absolutely savage level of acceleration. But how amazing are those launch control starts? This M850 is so fast, 3.8 seconds to 60 miles an hour, and it absolutely rockets off the line with that launch control engaged. So it's just really addictive and really, really fun. So let's go back into sport. We're gonna go into Sport Plus and enjoy some top-down cruising. We got the mic down here in the cup holder. Hopefully you can hear okay. So starting off with those launch control starts, you know, it's obviously just fun to do that once I figured out how to do it. But the other thing is that it really speaks to one of the top 4 reasons why the M850 is so awesome for 2019. So this 2019 M850 X-Drive convertible is basically a replacement for the previous M6. Stickers from 122, and this one, as equipped with Bowers & Wilkins and a couple of driver safety stuff, goes up to 131. As well as the Dravit gray paint on the outside. So it's an absolute rocket ship. So let's do one of those launch control starts from inside the car so we can get a sample of that. So the way you do it is you have the vehicle warm, put it over into S, tap the traction control, don't hold it down, and then foot hard on the brake, foot hard on the gas, little flag comes up. And you're off. So yeah, so the top 4 things of my M850 is awesome are speed, style, refinement, and technology. The speed goes without saying. This is about it's about a half second quicker than the previous M6, and which is fantastic, which was like 4.3, 4.4. So to be able to get it so much faster down to the 3.8 is really incredible. The vehicle is about 1 inch shorter than the previous M6 convertible. It's about 1.5 inches wider and a little bit lower as well, about a 1/2 inch lower. So it's but about 150 pounds heavier than before. So it really just speaks to the X-Drive, and then just this phenomenal 4.4 liter twin power turbo V8 making 523 horsepower and 553 foot-pounds of torque. It's a rocket ship, so it's fast off the line, but where it's really fast, it speaks to the 8 Series when it was originally launched in the 90s. Its core mission, which was to be an ultra-exclusive, ultra-luxurious, high-speed express. So a car that can cruise around, you know, at 150 miles an hour all the time. And it really achieves that. So the passing power in this car is absolutely astounding. After driving, this is my last day with it, after driving for a week, I'm absolutely drunk with power. You know, when you drive a big V8 like this, it really spoils you. It spoils you because you can pass anyone at any time, no matter what, if you wanted to. So the speed is obviously absolutely phenomenal. And this car is a real Jekyll and Hyde thing going, because One of the second points would be refinement. So it's absolutely unbelievably quiet in here and pretty refined, even with the top down. So the wind deflector that we have up right now really helps for that. There we go. Yeah, so the wind deflector really helps with that. But with the windows up, I mean, you can cruise at 85 miles an hour and have a normal conversation. There's no tons of blowing air. I've just got a hat on because the sun down here in South Carolina is so bright. I don't want to get sunburn on my head. So the refinement is astounding. It's really, really calm in here in terms of like wind suppression, but it's also like rides really smoothly when you're not in some of its most aggressive sports settings. And with the top up, you would not know this was a convertible. It is so quiet. It's unbelievably quiet. I mean, it's shockingly quiet. I just got a car wash, and I mean, and even going through the car wash, like when you go through the blower part at the end, most convertibles, you can hear them be like, where little air gaps are being found. That even happens with sunroofs sometimes, but not so in this M850 xDrive. It's just so incredibly refined. So that's the second point. Third point would have to be style. So multiple times this week, people have come up to me, strangers and friends alike, and told me that this was the most beautiful vehicle they'd ever seen, which is fantastic. This Dravit gray color is a $2,000 option, and it's like a it's like a tourmaline mineral or something with magnesium elements is what it's named after. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's basically like, it looks like a flat gray when it's cloudy, but then when the sun shines, there's like gold fleck in it. It's very, very beautiful. Looks really good on this car. Although I have to say, the car looks, I think it looks best in white and black and the bright blue that they have available. It really looks awesome in any color though. So awesome, such a great car. I absolutely love it. Okay, so the style, so why do people think it's the best looking vehicle they've ever seen? Well, first off, the proportions are absolutely like, shocking in terms of how much they convey speed, aggression, luxury, and price. I mean, this, like the original 840 and 850, I mean, these vehicles are intended to be, something that you see maybe once a year or once in a lifetime. They're very intended to be rare and special. And this one definitely achieves that by looking just so much more aggressive than the rest of the BMW range. Whew. So this M850, like we said, basically replaces like the M6 previously, but for 2020, they're also coming out with, in addition to the ragtop and the coupe, they're coming out with a Grand Coupe with 4 doors, and then a new 840i with the Turbo 6 for the U.S. market, and then the 840d for Europe and the world. Broadening the range. So this 8 Series is going to become a little less exclusive than it is right now, but it's still just one of the coolest cars you'll ever see. So it's really, really beautiful. From the front, the grille is fantastic. There's not a piece of chrome in the entire exterior of this vehicle. It's got a shadow line equipment package as standard, so that deletes all the chrome. Hold on. But you can get it back with a chrome package. And the car looks really different. It looks a lot more formal with the chrome, a little more 7 Series-ish, whereas this car just looks like a menacing killer M car. Even the badge out back is like dark gray and looks awesome. So style, definitely you win a lot of style points in here. That's outside, and then looks extra good from the nose. Proportions are phenomenal. It even looks good with the top up. And then the tail looks amazing. That new tail light graphic that BMW is using looks beautiful, and just really aggressive curves and cut lines just make all the right impressions for a vehicle that seems so low, so fast, and just so incredible. So the style really, really works with this vehicle. Hopefully, I might have already said this, but it even looks good with the top up, which is rare for convertibles of this size. So of course, the primary competitors for this vehicle are the Mercedes S-Class convertible and the SL convertible itself, as well as 911 ragtop, perhaps F-Type, maybe the Continental GT V8 Cabrio. Basically any way that you would want to be the most badass baller in your office parking lot and country club valet line. So, incredible machine. Okay, so obviously it's got style for days. That style also extends to the cabin, where at night, I mean, it's lit up like a really moody VIP lounge with lots of really cool LED piping. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is so aggressive with launch control. Oh, I absolutely love it. Trying to take it pretty easy. You know, with a vehicle this powerful, we really can't push it on public roads. But this twisty road is usually very untraveled, and has nice curves. We don't have any mountains down here in Charleston. They call it the Low Country. So, and you think, okay, well that's fine. You can still have good twisty roads. No, because there's no mountains to go around. The roads are just not very fun. So this one's a rare one. All the Charleston car enthusiasts come here to have a little fun, as well as bikes and bicyclists. So, amazing vehicle. So the fourth point in the big 4 items that I've identified that make this car so special, it's got to be technology. So the tech, obviously, with this powertrain is phenomenal. The ZF automatic transmission, which is like a new sport version of the 8 HP, is awesome. It's like easily the best in the world, and is telepathic on its downshifts into corners when you're in S in particular. But the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing is like, how is this vehicle able to go from like a Boulevardier, you know, like a real cruiser, into like a pretty aggressive beast? So I mean, you have huge composite brakes in front. I think they're almost 16 inches in diameter, which is enormous. The brakes are the biggest brakes I've ever seen on a road car. And then you have the M Sport differential, M Adaptive Pro suspension that can really firm things up selectively or all at once. And then a piece that is not even on the window sticker, which is curious. I think it's because of the bad reputation of this technology. But this car has 4-wheel steering, which really helps for a vehicle that weighs like almost 4,800 pounds to really be nimble, to really feel nimble and drive nimbly. And this one, it absolutely works. So in addition to just like really incisive turn-in at all times, one of the big benefits of this 4-wheel steering system is that the turning radius now is like a smart car. It went from about 38 in the previous 6 Series to 19 in this car. This car's a 19-foot turning circle, and that's of course thanks to 2.5 degrees of counter steer when you're under 45 miles an hour, and then up to 2.5 degrees of steering that matches where the front wheels are going above that speed. So basically, so what does that mean? So like, what is the? So like, I mean, it basically will turn in like really, really sharply, and makes it feel really light and nimble. So the one, pretty cool. I'm in the 2019 M850. I just discovered a little cool feature. You have the door open and the hazards on. This is what the mood lighting does. Pretty cool. And then it goes back to that once it's closed. Wireless CarPlay. This is connected to my phone, but no wires, nothing plugged in. Awesome. 2019 M850. In the car wash with the 2019 BMW M850 convertible. It's got a pretty cool party trick. You press this button here. Looks like heating and cooling, right? Oh, it is. So you can turn, and then it brings up these controls. And look at this. You have them both on at the same time. What a wonderful world this is. So the one place where I think it might be a little better at converting from just like a Luxo cruiser into a hardcore, a real like M car, M performance vehicle, is that the suspension could be a little softer in some of its comfort modes. It doesn't feel like it has very much travel, and so the the body structure is like the best I've ever felt. You know, it's so rigid for a convertible, it's unbelievable. And that's thanks to this carbon core technology that's in the A-pillars and then all around the door jambs to basically make this vehicle rock solid. It also has underfloor bracing versus the 8 Series Coupe. So, I mean, it's the most rigid vehicle I've ever been in. But one of the downsides of that is that the suspension has so little travel that sometimes when you're going, like, over... Oh my god, I'm gonna miss this car. Sometimes when you're going over, like, there's one off-ramp in particular where it's really bumpy that I take every day, and I've really noticed that the car sort of like, it gets a little spooky as the wheels run out of travel, but they still obviously want to keep their contact patch. It just could be a little better in that regard, and I think it's safe to say that this 850i does not ride as smoothly as the S-Class convertible and some of the SLs. But that's okay. I mean, it's really, this vehicle is intended to be the fastest luxury convertible, you know, that owners will ever have, and it absolutely achieves it. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you have a great day. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next week.